is that Jimbo Fisher was trying to get out of Florida State to go to Texas A&M. Texas A&M has one thing going for it that not a lot more plentiful than almost any school in the country. Money. Texas A&M has a phenomenal amount of money. As a matter of fact, it's got, I believe, the third largest endowment after Harvard and Yale. I mean, they are an incredibly wealthy school. They can pay for anything. They can afford any coach. They're a school built on oil wells. So they wanted Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo was unhappy this year at Florida State. He actually is having a losing season. I think with one game to play, they're 5-6. They have a soft game coming up there to get them a bowl game. So Jimbo Fisher out. They just told me. Now official. This was rumored a week ago that he was the guy to go to A&M. So he leaves for A&M. Now you say, why would you leave Florida State for A&M? There were years ago where you wouldn't leave Florida State for anywhere. Florida State. But now the SEC schools are so strong. And as I said, A&M is one of the richest schools in the country by far. It's in the top 5. I would probably rank it behind Yale and Harvard in terms of riches. And they can get anybody they want. And that's who now they've gotten. They've gotten Jimbo Fisher to be their new coach. So, and it's funny, their old coach was one of the hottest prospects and coaching prospects in the country for a couple of years, which just shows you, you can cool off. That's the one thing. If you're a coach, you've always got to know when to strike and when not to strike because you can cool off. And there's an example of a coach who has cooled off. The story, of course, the Giants right now, with everything that's going on, I don't know how things can get worse. The other story, of course, Tiger Woods, and Tiger Woods is playing well today. He's under par now. Listen, everybody rips up that course, but Tiger is putting back-to-back rounds. Last time I looked, he was 5 under. I see Hoffman's 8 under. Hoffman's putting for par, and he's 8 under. Let me see the leaderboard. He just missed it, so he's now 7 under. Tiger was 5 last time I looked. He just hit a wood onto the fairway. Let's see, Hoffman 7, Woods 6. So how about this? Tiger Woods, it's Hoffman 7, Fleetwood 7, and Tiger Woods, as he walks down the 9th hole, is 6 under par and playing very well. He's 6 under. Thomas is 6 under. Spieth is 5 under. So for the second straight day, Tiger Woods playing good golf. So good to see. John in Flushing, what's up, John?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
All right. Look, I'm going to give you a take on this kneeling issue, and if you just let me get it out, it won't take me long.
Yeah, give me the kneeling issue. I don't need anything on politics, just kneeling issue, please.
Right. Exactly. Kneeling was a sign of respect. In this case, it's not being treated as such. Why not just have the league say, look, if there's something you're mourning or there's something you feel sad about, you can kneel. So if somebody has a death in the family, can kneel.
John, this is
that would take the air out of it. That would take the air out.
This is a protest. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous what you're saying. It's a form of protest. What he's doing is protesting. He's not doing that because he feels sorry. He's protesting. We understand that. You stand for the national anthem. When you don't stand, you are protesting. That's what he's doing. To say now you can kneel if you want, so now it's not a protest anymore, come on. It's not an answer. It's ridiculous. Ken in Babylon, what's up, Ken?
Hey, Mike, happy holidays.
Thank you. You too. What's up?
You made a point about what a PR disaster McAdoo's been this year. This year's Giants and last year's Jets is pretty close. Bowles, last year you got on him for how he dealt with the media. But in your opinion, who do you think has done a worse job between the two in terms of, dealing with the media and dealing with a tough season?
Without question, McAdoo, because McAdoo's actually surly. Bowles is never surly. He's just very quiet. He doesn't have a lot of words. He doesn't speak a lot of words. That's just his way. He's a quiet man. He's a quiet man by nature. McAdoo's not quiet. He's surly. There's a difference. So McAdoo by far. And McAdoo just basically contradicted his owner with what he just stated. His owner got up there and said, we didn't handle this well. I wasn't here. I should have been here. It wasn't handled well. This is not what we were looking to do. And you just heard McAdoo get up and say, I'm very comfortable with what we did. I'm comfortable with how we did it. I'm comfortable with how it was said. And everybody was on the same page. He just completely contradicted his owner, which is dangerous. Jack in Hoboken, what's up, Jack?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
What's happening?
I think on the
I guess we lost him. I don't know what happened, but there he goes. Alex in Middletown. What's up, Alex?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good.
Before I get started, real quick, thanks for the 30. I've been with you since day one.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You were mentioning Thanksgiving before, and it's funny because I'm one of the people who haven't
I think they said the ratings were down. You can check them on. I think they said 11% overall for the 3 games from last year. I think 11%.
Yeah, well, what I did was I haven't watched since the protest started, but Thanksgiving was the first time in all the years I've been watching football that I didn't watch it down. That's how aggravated I am with this kneeling thing. And as far as Mara's concerned with Eli, how can he say he's upset when he says we didn't understand that Eli's reaction would be the way it was? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He had to understand that Eli's reaction would be the way it was.
No, he said he missed on. He did not think Eli would react the way he did. I mean,
No, I'm saying, but he had to. I can't believe. I mean,
he admitted he didn't expect Eli to act that way. I mean, you can say he should have, but he said he didn't expect it. He said he didn't expect it.
Exactly. And as far as Vernon, you know what? Let him get rid of him. I mean, really, it's.
And Vernon's, it's a shame because Vernon's a good player. I mean, listen, Vernon is a good player. He's been hurt this year. When he's played, he's still good. He's a good player. Played well last year. Vernon's a very good player. I'll be the first to admit it. But you cannot tell the fans to stay home. That's rule number 1. You don't tell the paying customers to stay home. Guy in Greenwich, what's up, guy?
Hey, Mike. Deja vu all over again. It's like the late 70s Giants. I got to be honest, though. 30 minutes after contradicting my boss like that, I'm out the door. It's incredible. I think you might be right. You may have read something into this. But
no, I think clearly you saw John's anger the other day. I mean, he was very unhappy. And his answer, the only reason, and Tiger Woods now has a lead. I know he just eagled the hole and he's got the lead. I saw him hit the wood to the green. So he eagled the hole and now he's 8 under par. So Tiger goes to 8 under, which is a great story. We'll follow that today as he's on 9th hole and just eagled it. When Mara gave the answer that he did, you said a couple of weeks ago that the coach was fine. But let me ask you about McAdoo's situation, and he said there are no guarantees in life. He didn't say, like I said before, we will look at it when the season's over. We'll evaluate when the season's over. He said there are no guarantees in life. Oof. For Mara, that was as cutting as it gets. He's not a guy that's like that. Mike in Jersey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, I just got a couple of questions. The first one was the games between Dallas and Eagles. What do you think the stadiums would be filled with more Dallas and Eagle fans?
I don't understand the question. What's the question?
All right, I was just curious with everything going on with Eli, with the fans.
I mean, would there be more Eagle fans in Giant Stadium? Or Cowboy fans? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, there'll be more
Cowboy fans. There'll be more Cowboy fans.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And then
despite the proximity, they're just the more Cowboy fans, and the Cowboy fans love to buy up tickets and go to the games on a clear day. They will fill that stadium. They will fill that stadium next week. They will overpower the Giant fans next week in that stadium.
I got another question. When
I've had Cowboy fans ask me for tickets to get them tickets for next week's game. So how about that? Just to tell you, I haven't had any Giant fans call for tickets. That's for sure.
I got another question. I mean. Obviously, Mara has the power to say, you know what, I'm stepping above you. I want Eli to play Sunday. Any likelihood of that happening?
No, he's the one who, he was the one who started the plan. So, no, he wanted to see the young quarterback. So, he wanted to see the quarterbacks. So, he was not against that. He just didn't like the way it was presented. He didn't like the way the whole thing was, handled with Eli. He was very upset about that. Dan in Connecticut, what's up, Dan?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, what's up?
I got to ask you a question. Well, one is about the kneeling of the flag, but the first one is about Mattingly becoming I know he wasn't interviewed, but becoming the manager of the Yankees.
Mattingly is the manager of a team already. And that, as I've said many times, it's not a good thing for them to hire Mattingly because they'd have to someday fire Mattingly, and they want him to be an iconic Yankee his whole life, and love the franchise. And once you create that problem, it's hard to get rid of the guy. So I don't think they. Yeah, you're right. I don't think they'd like him having that relationship. To be honest with you.
Yeah, you're right. The other question is, if I was to call you, I have I have a cousin that's an active duty Navy SEAL and one that we lost about 10 years ago. And if I was to call you a dog around 2000, I don't want to say 2001 because I'm so raw, but 2002, 2003, and I said, hey, Mike, your dog, if someone kneels during the national anthem, especially, and then stood after the national anthem and stood for the Mexican, I mean, what would you and Dog say? Can you imagine going back to 2003, 4, 2, whatever?
Listen, I still can't believe it's continuing to this day. I thought the NFL would handle this a while ago, and they have done such a bad job. And it's not just that. You had other businesses coming out today and saying their business. These are businesses that operate with the NFL, saying that their NFL business is off 25% this year. I know someone who sells NFL merchandise told me their business is off 20% this year. So Jerry Jones says his business is off. The ratings are off. Clearly, people have reacted to what's going on in the NFL. Clearly they have. Chris in Tinton Falls. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Good. What's happening?
Real quick. Early 40s, I am a Giant season ticket holder. I had full intentions of going to these final games, but I am so angered at the way they handled this. I am getting my tickets to Cowboy fans. I was looking forward to going to the games with my nephews, and I want to hear, just as a a protest for Eli, fly Eagles fly, how about them Cowboys, touchdown Washington Redskins. There is a way this could have been done. Seeing the young quarterback would have been fine. I feel bad for Geno because it's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
But McAdoo, I actually wanted McAdoo. I thought he would do good. I thought he had a presence about him. He looks clueless now, and I want people to be overpowering the Giants there, not because I feel bad for Eli, but had Mr. Mara said, hey, we're going to let Eli start the final 3 games, say goodbye to the fans, that's different. He doesn't get a chance. It is an abomination. I am outraged. Mr. Mara, hear me. I'm a season ticket holder of 4 seats. I will not be there, and I will be certain the competition is there, and it pains me to say that.
Well, listen, that's saying a lot. Now, here's the ratings hit. Now, I saw a story that said they were down 11%. Looks like they were down more. Let me see here. The league's 3 national holiday games dropped in viewership by a combined average of roughly 19% compared to last year. Maybe the other ratings were the overnights. Let me see. Fox's early afternoon game between the Vikings and the Lions was down 10%. CBS's game between the Cowboys and the Chargers was down 25%. And the Giant game against the Redskins was down 19%. Even though the NFL commands a larger audience than all of TV, the ratings hit is eye-popping, since Thanksgiving is the holiday and really considered an enormous window for football. It's also more ratings woes for a league that has been very much beset by them over the last 2 years. This year's sluggish holiday viewership can be blamed on a myriad of factors, including the fact that the games were not good, which they weren't, okay? But the numbers, also, there's a couple other factors. Number one, the Cowboy-Chargers game was clearly also affected by, which was down 25%, was also, to be fair, impacted by a fight between CBS and Dish Network that took place over Thanksgiving. So you got to take that into account. That hurt it too. We want to be fair here. The games were one-sided. You want to be fair about that too. But clearly, this is dramatic. The 3 games on Thanksgiving down 10%, 25%, and 19% on Thanksgiving. That's 19% overall on their biggest one-day holiday of the year, which is Thanksgiving, which is a day that has always been about family and football. That's what it's always been about. And food, but family and football. And for the NFL to be down 19% on Thanksgiving. The earliest story I saw, it said 11. This one, the ratings here, according to this, is 19%. That is unbelievable. That is dramatic. And the NFL has a major issue on its hands this year. Here's the McMahon.